What is going on? I know I haven't shared this with anybody. And I kind of wanted to for a moment, but I didn't know when I'd be going live. And I'm glad I didn't set a time because then I'd be in trouble. Because I definitely didn't make the time I intentionally was going or that I was looking to go for originally, right? But hey, what's going on? Hopefully you're doing well. Hopefully you're having a great day, great weekend, wherever you are around the globe. And just wanted to jump on just to share a lot of the changes stuff that's going on because some people are on my email list. Many of you are not, and kind of just wanted to share kind of the history of the channel and where things are heading, right? And try to answer some of those questions as well because a lot of people have been having specific questions and I haven't been able to answer them. I'm trying to find the best angle as well. There we go. This is probably a better angle. A lot of people have been having questions and I haven't really been able to, I guess, answer them in the best light. And a lot of them are, I would say, valid, right? So let me adjust this. And this is a little bit different because I don't have my stage, I don't have my lights, all that stuff. So I'm really winging this. But there's some changes I want to share. Um, and it kind of answer a few of the questions that I get in the comments that I just either just too long to explain in a comment as I reply to a comment or something like that, and I don't want it to get lost. I want people to be able to come back and look at this. All right. So hopefully you're doing well. Um, where do I start? I will start with there's some big changes coming, right? So over the years of having this channel, I've been sharing different bottled waters and doing tests on them and trying to find out what's best. And a lot of those have been coming from, at first it was just for fun, and then somewhere along the way, I started getting your inputs on what bottled waters you guys drink, guys and gals, what y'all drink, and then starting to do reviews on those if I'm able to get them. And many of you have been sharing with me different waters, different beverages from all over the globe. Like there, I did not know all the different kinds of waters. I thought I had a great idea from what I see in the stores I'm in California, but no, you guys have opened my eyes to all different kinds of waters, right? And along this journey, I've discovered, and actually through doing a lot of research, that many of the waters are the same. Like, like a lot of them. A lot of them are either tap water that are bottled and thrown a label on and given back to us. A lot of them are a form of reverse osmosis or distilled. A lot of them say spring, and that spring is like it's like an old spring. Or a lot of these companies were good once upon a time, and then they've been bought out by people like Nestle or like Coca Cola or something like that. And I've just been learning and sharing my experiences with you guys on this journey. Now, in the beginning, I do have a solution. I always have solutions, right? Um, when I started this journey, it was around the time of COVID. Okay. And at the time, other people that I knew who was sharing this information, this content, um, the people who were sharing it out publicly, just sharing everything, like spilling all the beans and saying how this can help COVID and this can help all those different kinds of things, their channels ended up getting shut down, right? So their channels were getting shut down. They were putting to different companies that I feel help people. They were putting them in jeopardy or putting them in danger, right? And at that time, the government wasn't allowing anything to be shared as a solution to COVID, as a solution to better health outside of what the government wanted, right? So at that time frame, knowing I wanted to share this with people and also wanting to protect the company, protect what I'm doing here, and still be of value to people, I took what I felt at the time was the best water and I put it behind the email, right? And saying, hey, if you want access to this information, go ahead and put your name and email because that shows me one, that you're serious about your health. Two, it not that it really would stop anyone from the government, right? But the people who reached out to me were serious, right? They reached out, they were serious about improving their health, and I've been able to help a lot of people with improve their health. A lot of people get off of bottled water. A lot of people save money, and change their life in ways that they weren't expecting, nor I, right? And so that's been awesome, right? Um, and then for those people who didn't exactly go right away, I had an email series where every day I'm sending recaps from the masterclass, right? Um, and at the time, I still don't know. I don't know what I'm doing, right? I'm in the military. I love studying the subject of water and all that type of stuff, but I had no idea what I'm doing. I'm learning as I'm going, right? I'm not a professional at any of this, and I'm just learning as I'm going, right? Um, and over the time, the people I've interacted with and I've made connections with this crazy thing that's been going on is I've been losing touch with people who want to get back with me, but we all just get caught up in the shuffle of life, right? And the people who do trust me, I've been not as connected with them as I want to be, as they deserve, right? And on top of that, like the environment has changed, right? So COVID, the government said are bad, right? They did whatever they had to do there. And they kind of lifted that veil, right? And I feel the content that I am making doesn't necessarily need to be behind an email address anymore. However, I do want to make sure because when I get when I do videos and stuff, I get live, I get wild, I get crazy, right? And so sometimes I can say things that can put companies in danger because I can't make any medical or health claims, right? As y'all know, no one who sells any type of health product is allowed to make any health claims, right? And so I still want to help people who are open to leveling up, but at the same time, I have to be, in order to be fun, to have fun doing the reviews I'm doing, I don't say the company's names intentionally, right? Because I want to be able to do that without fear of getting the company in trouble, without fear of having that backlash or getting the channel shut down, right? So those are the things I have to worry about on my end as I guess the content creator, right? So there's many different, I guess, people I'm attending to, right? And at the same time, my goal is to serve and help you guys, right? So I'm about to make some changes though. So I don't know if I'm gonna do away with the email, but I'm about to create I'm about to have another phone number. And that phone number is gonna enable you to be able to connect with me directly. And I am in the military for a little bit longer. I'm about to get out of the military. So if you have seen the masterclass already, you know me because I share my life story there. But for those of you who don't know and you just think that I'm just here just selling stuff, I'm in the military. And the whole reason why I do this was because this helped me in my health, right? And so I enjoy sharing this with other people who are serious, not the looky loos, but the people who are serious about wanting to improve their health, who understand the dangers and challenges of what's in our bottled water and who desire to make a change in their life and have the means of doing so, right? So I'm about to create a text service or a way of reaching me through text where I can share the masterclass stuff without you having to submit an email. Um, and then I'm going to change it up to where if you want to learn more information, I have tons of information. I have about 70 different video testimonials. I have tons of different stories from other doctors. I have medical studies, all these things that people in the comments say, oh, this is not medically proven, or oh, this is fake. Why, like, who does this stuff? Like, there's no way this water would be around because people would know about it. And it's been hidden from us, especially in the United States. But it is something that's regularly used in cultures like Japan and Korea and different places like that. So it's a normal thing there. Bottled water is probably the number one selling beverage in the world, and it's horrible about how it's done. And that's why when you go into the store, there's so many different bottled waters. You're like, which one do I go with? And that's because it's almost a $30 billion industry, right? So I want to help people get off of that and get out of that and get to where you're saving that money, you're putting it towards better use, right? So I'm sharing all this with you because you can catch the masterclass now. You'll be able to watch that. But any of the emails, they may be broken. The videos may be broken because I'm changing things over. Some of the things that I'm moving around and moving over and adjusting, it may be wonky, right? It may be broken. So if you have any questions and want to reach out, I'm gonna give you my number. I'm gonna give you that text number right here, and then slowly I'm gonna change the masterclass landing page and stuff, the quiz I have on the best filter and all that type of stuff, to where you can reach me through this number, and I can help you out. Right. So you got your pen and paper ready? Here's that number. And then clearly this number is specifically for the people in the United States and Canada, because you get that. If you're not in those areas and you want to reach out to me, you're gonna have to go with the traditional email route. So that number is area code 661 443 9879. That's 661 443 9879. And then I'm going to fix that up. So you may just text that number and ain't no telling what you're going to get, right? But eventually I'm going to respond to you. And the main goal of this is I want to reach out to people who are serious and build that relationship with you. And get to know who you are, your situation, what's going on, being able to be of service, right? So expect the way the masterclass looks and how you access it to change. Expect being able to get access to me much easier to answer questions, because if you have specific questions, you shouldn't have to go to the comment and ask the question. You should be able to respond to me directly. If something doesn't work, or if you tried this and it's not working, like, you should be able to respond to me directly. And so I'm going to set that up, and I'm gonna let everybody know the pricing of everything up front, so you can, because once again, I only want to work with people. I only want people to call or text or get content to stuff if they want it, right? I don't want you to have to sign up for something and then not want it, not want what you're signing up for, right? Because we all know that feeling and it feels gross, right? So that's what's coming up there. And one of the other questions I always get is like, all right, LaPrentice, I've seen all of your bottled water videos, which I'm making a lot more. I have a lot more videos to make. I'm gonna start on those probably when I get out from here, right? People are just like, all right, LaPrentice, I don't know what water to get. It looks like all the bottled waters are bad. So what do I drink? Right? So there's levels to everything, right? There's levels to everything, right? So our living space, like, we live in a cardboard box, and after a while we can upgrade to an apartment, or we have a roommate or something, or then we upgrade to an apartment, to a house, to a mansion. So all those types of things, everything is upgradable, right? So if you're at bottled water right now and you found a bottled water that somewhat works for you, that's okay. Don't beat yourself up over it. But just now, if you check out the material and you're like, all right, I know I need to move up, but what do I do until I move up? Just stick with the bottled water that's working for you. Okay. Don't beat yourself up, but also don't hang out there too long. Too long. Do what you can to upgrade, and health is our most important thing. Like, no one cares about their health until they're sick, right? So don't wait until you're sick and be like, oh, he's been telling me I should upgrade, and now I'm sick, because that's the worst time, right? If you are doing well, it's best to go ahead and make that transition and be able to help others around you who may not be able to do as well, right? So the next thing is this. This is the filter I recommend. This is the Aqua Perform. And the reason why I recommend this one is because this takes out numerous different things from your tap water. So since most bottled water is filtered tap water, like, why not just get the filter and filter it ourselves, right? And just replace the filter once a year for like $120. So yes, the stainless steel housing is amazing. This is just a case to hold it in. But this is what I recommend. This is the next level up from bottled water, okay? And the reason why I'm sharing this is because the price went up on it. So I have to update all the videos. So if you've seen any of the videos before, this used to be $590. It used to be $590 with financing options, and they still have financing options, but the price of this has went up. And And that's because everything in the world has been going up. And this company, even though it's been around 50 years, they haven't changed any of their pricing. And they're just now changing it because they have to keep up with shipping and the price raise of everything else. But this is that next step up, all right? And this is part 2 of my 2-part system, okay? So the reason why people are just like, what's the brand? It's not a brand because it's a combination of things. And the first thing you want to do is filter your water, okay? So this is what I recommend. Of course, reach out to me because everybody's situation is different. And some people may be on well water that has sulfur in it, and this does not remove that, right? So reaching out to me though, I can provide other alternative options or other recommendations, right? But if you're on city water, municipal city water, this is going to do the trick for you just about everywhere. Once again, this is great in the United States and Canada, but this is that first step up, okay? And you can hang out here and save money and prepare for the next step if you want to, or you can hang out here because this is premium bottled water. So as we know, bottled water is full of xenoestrogen, is full of microplastics, it is full of PFOAs and PFOSs, and guess what? This filters out all of that stuff. This filters out that stuff. So this is already better than bottled water. The only downside to it, the only 2 downsides is it's still oxidizing, right? It's still oxidizing. That's because it doesn't have that electrical charge. It doesn't have any molecular hydrogen to it. And then the other thing is it's going to be, as far as pH level, it kind of depends on where you live, on what's in your tap water. But at worst, they'll be neutral, which is good, which is better than most bottled waters that are reverse osmosis or distilled because those are really acidic. And so this helps in those regards, but doesn't give you the molecular hydrogen, doesn't give you that electrical charge. When we do the T-test with this, it's the same as the bottled waters. It doesn't hydrate as well. But if you're gonna drink a bottled water, if you're gonna do that, you might as well do this and save yourself the money, save yourself the carcinogens, change the filter out once a year, as opposed to buying bottled water that's filled with the microplastics, cancer-causing chemicals, all that stuff, going back and forth to the store, toting big old cart cases and stuff of water. Like this can easily take care of that for you. And you can help other people do the same, right? So this is the next step up from bottled water, whenever you're ready, okay? No rush, it's your health, right? But the price of this has went up. And so I have the call. If you watched the masterclass before, I book a call with you, or I have you take the quiz to see how your faucet or how your kitchen looks, because there's different configurations. This one is for the countertop setup. Like literally, if you have a traditional aerator, like the old style faucet, this goes there. You flip this over, you literally push this over, then the water comes through here, goes in the filter, and it comes out the spout right here, right? And then we have it under the sink variation as well. So just depends on how your setup is. And I have install videos that I've made myself that walks you through how to do all these, what tools you need, everything. And then I have extra videos that show you how to get discounts on the replacement filters, all different kinds of things, how to do cleans, all different kinds of things like that, right? So that's the next step. Once again, that is just water. It's still oxidizing. It's going to be neutral at best. And that's the next step, right? So give me a second and I will show you the next step. This is the next step, all right? So this is the water ionizer I recommend, and mainly because it is a Japanese certified medical water device. It is the only certified medical device that is a water ionizer. So if we're going to take something, give it an electrical charge, add molecular hydrogen, and all that stuff, let's see. If there isn't any, yeah, that was my question. So I'm trying to remember what I said. I just saw the thing there. So that's what I recommend. There's a few variations of it, and so I'm going to start sharing that as well, because it's not it's cheaper longer haul, but up front it could be, yeah, it could be daunting, right? Especially if you're not ready for that yet. Let's see, Grand Theft Auto, I will get to your question in a second, but that's the next level. And that has your molecular hydrogen, that has your water that is broken down to where it's actually able to hydrate you at a cellular level. I'm trying to see because I just got finished doing a colon cleanse. I'm telling you right now, the difference between using filtered water for a colon cleanse, the capsules, and using this water, I don't know if this is TMI, but I'm just being real with y'all. If I do the colon, so every night, I've been doing this for like the last 2 weeks, at 5 p.m., I'll take my 2 capsules for my colon cleanse, and I take that with clean, neutral water, right? When I do that, I wake up at 3:30 in the morning, ready to go to the bathroom, okay? I messed up one time. I messed up one time and used water from this 9.5 with the colon cleanse. So let's see, 5 p.m. to 2:30 to 3 a.m., right? So that is 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 1, 2, 3. That's 10 hours, right? 5 p.m. at 9:30 p.m. That's 4 hours. 9:30, yeah, 4.5 hours. My body was like, yo, you need to go to the bathroom. That is the difference, okay? So once again, I keep sharing it in the videos all the time. If you're taking vitamins, if you're taking supplements, if you're taking things with this water, it's not a game. It will work quick. It will work quick, especially if you're detoxing, right? So that's the next level. And this does so much more than drinking water, which is why it's so much more than a filter. It's not a filter, it's an ionizer. So it makes 7 different kinds of water for cleaning, disinfecting, for removing pesticides off your fruits and vegetables, for laundry. It does so many different things, and it's helped so many people with their health. All that is in the masterclass, all right? My goal, my ultimate dream, is to get with a financing company to make it affordable for everybody. I would love to make it to where it's $50 a month. And you just pay that for, I don't know, 8, 10 years and not have to worry about that, right? I really do desire to have this in everybody's home, right? There are lower models. And so one of the things I'm gonna do is when I update the masterclass, I'm gonna share the different variations, right? Because this isn't the highest, this isn't the most expensive one, but this is the most powerful one. And I really want the best for everybody, right? And then of course, when you combine those two together, you have the best water. And when people purchase that in full, this ionizer in full, I rebate them that filter. I give them the money back for that filter. Because I wish you didn't have to buy the filter. I wish this had a filter that removes everything, and it doesn't. So that's my way of saying thanks for trusting me, and I reimburse you for that. And I've done that for numerous people. So that is the full setup. Kinda. There's always more, right? But for a lot of people, that's the starting point, at least where I'm at with the channel so far. So let's see, it says, hey, LaPrentice, interested in better quality water. If my budget cannot afford your water or the filter you are showing. Are there brands you recommend? I took down my number. Okay, so as far as bottled waters, it's your preference. And the reason why I say that is because there's once upon a time I would recommend a brand. And then people would say that their stomach hurt. I'm like, oh, I'm like, why is your stomach hurt? Like that's the brand I recommend, right? And so I can't recommend a brand of water because what works for some people doesn't work for everybody as far as brands of water, because they're all made differently and they change up their formula. They change up what they do many times. Sometimes they just change up the bottle. You're like, oh, that's a new looking bottle. No, sometimes they change the formula. A great example of this is Poland Springs. They went to Poland Spring Origins. They changed up how they did things. And I was shocked because I saw other people's videos. I was like, oh, it's gonna be neutral, right? And then to come to find out, when I did the test, I think that's the one I'm thinking about. It actually showed up acidic. So, and then Nestle changed their branding to Blue Triton brands, right? So I can't recommend a bottled water because they're constantly changing. Number two is where you're located may not even have that water, because some people are recommending waters and they have them in abundance where they're at, but they aren't located near me, so I can't recommend it. And they may not be able to get that. So there's not a bottle of water I can recommend. So as I was sharing before, if there's a bottle of water that you're used to, that you're comfortable with, that you feel good with, I would say stick with it. Unless you've seen any of the news articles, for example, Perrier. If you're drinking Perrier from Nestle, they have fecal matter in their they had to stop production because they noticed that there was contamination of fecal matter in their water. Right? So for one, I'm not, which is another thing I'm gonna share on this channel. I'm not doing any more sodas. I'm not doing any more sparkling waters. No more carbonated waters. And the reason why is because those are bad overall. They're not good for you. And so once again, I'm looking to attract people who care about their health. People who are looking at those things, they haven't picked up yet that that stuff isn't good for them. And I'm not the person that, I don't feel I'm the person to educate them. So they got to come to it on their own terms. And the people who are already searching for an alkaline water, they care about their health, right? Because they captured somewhere along the way that they should be drinking alkaline water. People who are drinking spring water, they captured along the way that spring water is the best, whether that's from Dr. Sebi or whether that's from some other source. And spring water is great if you're getting it from the source. The moment it gets through the bottled water company, it's getting processed. And it's not the same. All right. So those are the two things. Those are the two things. I'm sharing everything right now. Like I don't. And so yeah, I'm going to be more open about sharing those things. I do still want people to watch the masterclass, which I'm updating, and the reason why is because I get your undivided attention, and once again, the people who are serious will watch it and they'll take action. Whether that's asking me questions or looking for more information or just that better education. And that's going to be clearly away from YouTube and all that type of stuff because, yeah, I want you to be able to focus and have that time. So I think I touched on everything. Oh, and the price of this is going up. That's that's the main thing. The price of this is going up. You thought this was expensive now at $5,000? That's how much it is. It's $5,000 plus tax. It's about to go up. They have not changed their pricing in 21 years. With everything going up in price, they have to. And in fact, this is a global company and they have changed it. They have upped the price in every country except the United States. And so June 1st is when that's happening. So if you've already seen the masterclass or you've watching, you're like, yo, oh my gosh, I want to get that. And you're like, I gotta wait. I'm telling you, June 1st is when it's happening. So I have to redo all the videos and I have to redo the masterclass, have to redo the pricing for the Aqua Perform and all that stuff because the price of that has changed, the price of this is changing, so I'm gonna have to redo all the videos. Now I'm thinking, I'm like, man, maybe I shouldn't even name the price of the videos. But yeah, I gotta redo that and I wanna include the other systems as well because if you just want water, just want the drinking water, you don't care about the other waters, you can get a lower version of this and still have good quality water. You don't have to have this one, but this one is the strongest. I'll tell you that right now. And you can still get that help in that regard, right? So I'm changing up how I present the information for the masterclass, where you're going to be able to reach me personally. I have a phone number where you're going to be able to text me at, answer questions, and I could check on you and see how you're doing, having that better rapport, and be able to get more intimate, not candlelit or anything like that, but just be on a more personal level. And then being able to serve you better, right? And see where this goes because soon I'm gonna be out of the military and this is what I'm doing full time because I love it. I love sharing it with people. I love helping people and how their lives have changed. So, and I just may expand the channel to include other aspects of what the ionizer does. I'm already looking at pulling out the studies, because a lot of you guys are just saying, I don't know the studies, or I never heard of this before. Where are the studies at, right? So I'm looking at pulling those out, and probably I'm looking at cartoons. I'm looking at animation, making animations. Like, for example, there's studies of electrolytes reduced water and how they got rats drunk. They got rats drunk and they wanted to see what brings them closer to sobriety: regular water, distilled water, or electrolyte reduced water, and the time frame that took to get them sober. There's so many other different. That's just a silly one that I just feel would be fun to do, making cartoons of drunk rats and stuff. But um, there's liver. There's studies on COVID. There's studies on all that types of stuff. And then for people who want to see the video testimonials of people who this water has helped, I'm gonna have that stuff as well. So that's everything. I think. If there's anything I'm missing, it's just gonna be missed. What questions do you have for me? Looks like Jay. Yeah. Sorry. If I could recommend a bottled water, I would. Right. But they're constantly changing. They're constantly making new ones all the time. They're constantly making new ones. So rappers are making them. Are making different bottled waters. You're probably wondering what's coming up as far as waters. On Amazon they have the, what is it, Zamzam water. So a lot of people say that that's a great water. So I don't know, it's on Amazon. I don't know if it's real or not, but I'm about to buy that. About to try out the Zamzam water. A lot of people have been asking for me to test a hydrogen bottle. So I'm going to be testing that soon. The Echo Go is the one that everybody keeps referring to. And so I'm going to be testing that one. And I'm going to do a few different variations with that one because it depends what kind of water you put in there, right? Thank you, Daniel. Appreciate it. Thank you. A lot of people have been worrying about the Echo Go. And so really that depends on what kind of water you put in it. So I can't wait to test that one, which I don't think it's going to do that good for a lot of different reasons, but we'll see. I'm gonna do it live with y'all, right? There's some waters from Korea that people want me to test. I got a friend, is it New Zealand, I think? He is like, hey, can I ship my water to you? That way you could test it, because a lot of people swear by this water. I'm like, yeah, man, let's do that. So a lot of different things like that are gonna be happening here soon. And I'm gonna get a lot of those going because I have to start getting ready to move again. So I'll actually be moving to Arkansas, take care of family and different things like that. But yeah, that's a little bit on me personally. And let me know if y'all like these lives. I know this one's going long because of the content or the updates or whatever, but I can start doing more lives and just checking in with you guys and see how you're doing and answering questions that come up. But yeah, that's it. Korean products are the new wave. I don't know about that. Korean products aren't. So being military, I've been to Korea 3 times. Hey, what's going on, Joseph? So I've been to Korea 3 times. I've been to Osan Air Base twice, and I've been to Kunsan once. When I went there, so all right, so this is back in the day. Let's go back to 2006. All right, so 2006, everything was on CDs and DVDs, right? You can go outside to Korea, and Korea will have all your movies, like at least 40 movies on one DVD. You can buy that for $5. They, in my opinion, in Korea, because in Korea, especially on the train and everything, they are hustlers, all right? So I would say they're kind of like the copycats of the world. So they will find something that's great, and then they'll find a way to tweak it and make it better, right? So even when we went to the store, so even when we go to the store, they will have Nikes, right? So the Nike symbol, right? They'll have Jordans. They'll have Jordan with a tennis racket. They'll have Jordan on ice skates. So they will take something like, oh, people love Jordans, right? And then they'll spin it because they can't do the exact same thing, but they know how to sew and they know how to put fabric together. And so they will make their own version of it. So a lot of people, they go there and they'll get the Louis Vuitton stuff. They'll get the Coach purses and stuff like that. And it won't be the authentic version, but it'll be a lot cheaper. And if you're not paying attention, you can fool someone, right? Um, so that's what I gathered from my experiences of being in Korea, and then from the technologies and stuff that they do is the same thing, right? I like the Korean culture. I really love Japanese culture. I spent 4 years there as well. But yeah, so I got to experience these things. So it's not just me bashing or not trying to bash, but I do don't like bulgogi. I mean kimchi. I don't like kimchi. They do have some stuff out there that's pretty cool that I do like, but I've experienced these things. That's what I'm saying. And in Korea, they have ionizers. They have water ionizers in Korea. They have ionizers in Japan as well. And I drank from this in Japan. I didn't even know what it was at the time. So I got to experience those things, right? So everything I'm sharing is not necessarily, yeah, exactly, firsthand experience. I've got to go to these places and experience those things being in the military. And I may go back as a mister. And now that I'm doing this, because I wasn't doing this back then, I may just go back and show you all video or show you the areas because I can make those trips. The freedom that's going to come with that. So um, yeah. What other questions y'all got? 'Cause actually don't have anything. I got Saturday is my cleanup day, so that's the day where I'm normally clean up the place because it's normally a wreck from all during the week. Before I get going, but just wanted to share these updates with you. Uh, Anything else? Boom. Let's go. It's funny just doing this live and just seeing a reflection back of myself. But that's what's going on. I'm currently in California, so that's another challenge. A lot of times people ask me to test certain waters, and they aren't in California. So I get to go online and try to find the water that you guys recommend, and sometimes they don't ship to me, right? So there's been a few times where I've made trips. I'll either make trips to Florida or I've made trips somewhere, and I can find a water that people have requested, and I can bring that back with me to test it. But lately, I haven't been traveling anywhere. I will be going to Japan in June, so that'll be happening. And I think that's my last trip until I get ready to start prepping to head home to Arkansas. So, hmm that's a good question, though. So yeah, that's why I can't test some of the waters. If you think the bottled waters are bad, I'm telling you right now, the 25-gallon, the big old sparklet things that you take and put in there, it's all made the same way. How do you, so do you taste the differences? How do you look for these things in different H2Os? Um, so to be honest, I haven't tasted any of these waters in 4 years. I haven't tasted a single one of these bottled waters. All the waters that I'm not doing taste tests. People take every has different taste buds, right? Um, but here's what happens. So there's probably two instances, maybe three, where I've had to go back to bottled water, right? And at that time, I didn't. I just went with whatever was available at the time. So I actually have friends who have the same story, right? So they'll start drinking this, and then for whatever reason, I travel with this too, by the way. And so when they forget to travel with it or forget to bring it, or they just assume that they'll be able to survive without it, they immediately notice the difference. Like I had a friend who got to try the water out. They experienced it and everything, and then we decided to go to Disneyland, and she completely forgot her water. I'm like, all right, that's cool. And then we're at the park going to Disneyland and everything, and then she's drinking bottled water. And her mouth just gets super dry. She's like, "What? Why can't I drink? I can't drink this." She's like, "This is horrible." I'm like, "Quit playing. You're being dramatic, right?" And she's like, "No, I'm serious. I can't drink this. This hurts my mouth. Like this hurts going down." So that was like her first sign of knowing that she wanted to get this water. And then the second sign was when I had my housewarming party. So in the masterclass video, the the main presentation of the ionizer that's done in my first house. So the housewarming party, we were using it to make a strong water that removes the pesticides and removes the film off of bell peppers. So at the time, our friend was chopping up bell peppers and we're cleaning them with the water, and she was watching the wax come off of the bell pepper. She's like, "What?" I saw this film. So like, if you look at it when it hits the light, saw this film of wax that was coming up, and they were just like, "What? That's coming from the bell peppers?" And we're like, "Yep." They're like, "I'm getting one." Like, I'm getting one. I didn't know that there was a wax on the bell peppers. So that's that's just some of the benefits. And just, of course, when you're eating different fruits and vegetables after you clean with this water, like, it tastes better. There's not bitterness to the flavor of the foods you're eating, and then they last longer because they're not coated in that pesticide. Um, so yeah, I have not went back to a bottled water. Um, if I have, it was very short lived. Um, so yep. That's a good question though. I feel most people will taste the difference. Most people do. They don't go back. So it just depends on, it really depends on how built up or dehydrated you are. How, actually, I don't even think that, 'cause even people I give the water to, like the first day or whatever, they're just like, "Oh, I like it. It's clean. It tastes crisp." There's, yeah, so they share all those different things. There's a lightness to the water. Um, yeah, I haven't heard anyone's like, I don't taste the difference. I don't know, right? So, but a lot of people who are extremely dehydrated can feel that way, right? So, hopefully that makes sense. We're gonna hang out for a few more minutes, and after that, I am gonna get back to cleaning. Because today is my only day of cleaning. Tomorrow I do nothing. But yeah, and then plus I gotta get going on making these videos, right? A lot of things have changed, especially with the filter. And so I gotta make videos to fix the quiz, because there's a quiz on part 2 of finding the best water for you. And that quiz is broken because those videos are all moved. So I gotta fix that. Now my goal is to fix that today. At least a rough draft version, and then fix it up. So if no one has anything else, I would say thanks for watching. Thanks for hanging out with me. And yeah, I really can't wait until I get out of the military, because I'll have time to do like live presentations. I know y'all see the masterclass and stuff like that, but being able to do it live and answer questions on the spot is a completely different story. All that stuff is in, have you seen the masterclass, Daniel? Because all that is in the masterclass, the difference between purified, spring, and distilled waters. But purified is either a mix of distilled or reverse osmosis. Reverse osmosis is using multiple filters to wipe everything from the water. And so it erases, water has memory. I don't know if you know that. Water has memory, and it wipes away the minerals, which your water needs to have those electrolytes, needs to have those minerals. It wipes away a lot of the bad stuff, not all of it, but a lot of it, and all the minerals though. So that water is oxidizing, and it's a scavenger. It's looking for minerals, right? So that's probably what makes it the most dangerous water out of all of them. Distilled water is water that has been boiled and captured as a steam and then dripped into water. So when you turn the water into a steam, they're doing that to get mostly water, mainly just the H2O. They turn it into a steam and collect it that way. Once again, it's void of the minerals. That makes it acidic. That's going to make it a scavenger. Spring water is water that they get from a spring. The problem or the challenge with that is that spring even good anymore? I think the last test I did was at Ozarka. They pull from like numerous springs. They pull like four or five different springs, and all of them were still acidic, right? So people listen to Dr. Sebi and say that thermal water is great, which it is. The hardest part is getting to it. And water from a spring, he'll say is great as well. The problem though is you're not getting it from the source. The moment it becomes purified, the moment it goes through the process of being, what is the word I am looking for? process is essentially what it is, because they have to filter out the water, then they have to heat it to 185 degrees for sanitization, to sanitize the water, to make sure there's nothing in it that can kill you, right? The moment you do all that and then they drop it in the bottle, it's not the same. Let's see. Artesian water, volcanic water, all these are different versions of a spring water. It's water that comes up from the earth, right? So all those are just different names for those kinds of waters. Just fancy marketing, right? Thank you, Joseph. Appreciate it. Thank you. But yeah, those are all those are processed waters. So you could kind of say the same for what comes out of the machine, right? You could say, oh yeah, that's processed too. The difference though is we're mimicking what happens in real life. Yeah, so you would have to get from the source. So there are places like Lourdes, France. So all this is in the masterclass. We'll keep saying that. Because the whole purpose of me having the masterclass is not to repeat all these things, right? And say it at a time that's convenient for you. But Lourdes, France, the Hunza Valley, different places like that, they have water that comes up. That is literally this in nature. The problem is here in America, we don't have a lot of access to it. So unless you got money to be flying back and forth, it's really tough to get access to. India has another source, and these places have waters that are known as miracle or healing waters that can help the body have that molecular hydrogen, that electrical charge, which that electrical charge shows us living. Like everything that we consume should be living, right? So if we're eating our fruits come from the earth, right? So we're getting the GMO ones, but now anything that's seeded, right? So Dr. Sebi will talk about seeded fruits, right? So you're talking about your apples, your oranges, the grapes, all those things need to be seeds. Don't eat the seedless stuff. But if you're eating things with seeds, that stuff has been planted and it comes up from the earth. And when it comes up and it hits the sun is giving it that energy. The sun is giving it that photosynthesis, and it's giving that electrical charge to the water that's in that fruit. So then when we bite into that fruit, we're getting that energy. It could be called energy. It could be called prana. It's called a lot of different things in different cultures, but it's life force. And so it's good to consume things that have that life force in it, because it keeps our life force strong. So yeah, it's that circle of life. When we start eating meat, the stuff in stores, especially the stuff in stores, is dead. There's no life force in it. In fact, the reason why it looks good is because they're pumping it with preservatives and coloring to make it look appealing, because technically it's gray. Like the meat, like if you had the meat in the stores and it wasn't pumped with things to keep it looking nice, it would be gray. If not black, it'd be moldy, right? And it's really tough to get past those things. It's really tough to get past it, because like growing up, we've been indoctrinated to eat meat. Like I grew up eating fried chicken. Like I grew up, I would not go to kindergarten until my aunt fried me chicken. All right, I'm telling you all that right now. And so I grew up eating fried chicken the whole time. It wasn't until I got to Japan that I had a girlfriend that all she would make me is fried chicken on days when I wasn't making it too. And I just got to like 300 pounds. I'm like, all right, I need to switch. So I started doing baked chicken. But yeah, meat is dead. So I don't feel that that's the way we're supposed to be consuming food. So I'm getting more towards eating stuff from the earth, which I've always been eating stuff from the earth, but reducing the amount of meat. And so I'm on, and I can do this back and forth, but this is probably the longest I've gone so far without meat. And it's just been a couple of weeks, but I feel great. I've been running well, working out good. See, I still got muscles and stuff that are growing, which the fears I had before was not getting enough protein. And I found good sources of protein, so I don't have that challenge anymore. Um, but yeah, and then just finding substitutes for those things that we used that were kind of like meat, right? So your burgers, your tacos, different things like that. And so I've been making time to have a black bean burger, or I'll make tacos using black beans, or um, just eat more potatoes and bell peppers and different things like that. Like once again, things that have seeds, and that's giving me that energy so I can keep going. And then a lot of fruit. I love fruit. Um, Unfortunately, so for me being single, I have to do everything frozen. Most stuff I do frozen, and it's great because it saves space and I don't have food that's rotting. But having fruit fresh, like plucked from the tree, is the best. And so I went home to Arkansas to visit family. I had some strawberries that were just freshly done by the farmers and had all the pesticides off of it, and man, it tastes delicious. And fresh is the way to go. That's the most rawest form of energy that you can get from your fruits and vegetables. So that's definitely what I recommend. Um, yeah, I know most people don't know these properties about water. So I have several books, several books. I talk about the properties of water. Water could do a lot of things. Water could be a bridge. Water holds memory. Water, you can speak things into your water and improve or harm your life. So, but yeah. All right, y'all got me for about 51 minutes on here. That's crazy. I didn't think I was gonna be on here this long, but you got me on here. Yes, local farm markets is a great place to go. I would definitely. Farmers markets are expensive, but it's for good reason, right? Supermarkets are packed with once again dead stuff, but um, if you're gonna eat meat, grass fed, fresh from the market, the fresher the better, right? And I still have friends that eat meat. My whole family eats meat. Like in fact, when I went to visit them, that's all they did was um, all they did was barbecue and all that type of stuff. So I indulge in meat and all that type of stuff. But yeah, it doesn't change. You know what I'm saying? So you definitely want to get to that farmers market. You put me on game. I know I make a conscious effort to drink natural spring water instead of these acidic waters disguised as spring water. Thank you for the info. Keep up spreading the knowledge. Yeah, no problem, man. Yeah, I wish. It's just crazy. The world we're living in now, everything's full of plastic. Our tap water has plastic in it now, so corporations and different things are causing so much pollution in our environment that plastic is getting into everything. I don't think there's a spring water that's really safe anymore, to be honest. I think everything has to be filtered in some kind of way now. Outside of those third world country locations I was kind of talking about in the master class, I would say most springs in America, nah, I wouldn't trust them. Unless they have been untouched by Nestle, unless they have been untouched by man, I don't think they're that good anymore. And so we gotta take care of ourselves and fix things at the source. That way you know it's good. That way you know you're not getting feces in your water, or no one's dumping arsenic into your. Or if they are dumping arsenic, you have the right filters and things to be able to remove that, and you're not concerned about those things, right? So yeah, I'm gonna be sharing a ton of different stuff, not just bottled water reviews. I'm trying to work my way away from that to do a little bit to share more, um, to better serve you guys, and yeah, to bring that awareness. Because I'm pretty sure y'all, there's someone there. It's probably all the people I chat with. There's expert. You're an expert in something. You know something I don't know. That you could actually even probably build a YouTube channel around. Whether you work at the post office, whether you are a bricklayer, you know some stuff that people don't know and would probably like to know, right? You may think, nah, they don't want to know this. This is going to make them upset. No, those are the things that we need to know. We need to stop hiding things from one another, and we need to just share what's real instead of feeling that everything, oh, if I just do this thing, then everything's great, right? No, we should always be striving to be more knowledgeable, to be around people who have that knowledge and who can help us elevate. Yeah, that is the hard part. That is the hard part because you're gonna get a lot of naysayers. You're gonna get a lot of people who disagree. You're gonna get a lot of people who just bash just to bash, like they have their own traumas that they're dealing with, right? And all they know how to do is hurt because all their life they've been hurt. And so you just have to pray for them and keep going because there's someone out there now who needs your message. There's someone out there right now who's waiting for you to become the person that you need to be to serve them. They're waiting for you. And you not stepping up to be that best version of yourself, you're doing a disservice. I'll say that. It's actually selfish, right? Your goal is to be selfless and learn the skills and take the leaps and be brave to be the person that people are looking for. And so in the beginning of this journey, I was doing the water stuff and I was sharing, and once again, out of fear at the time, fear of the government, fear of letting the company down, fear of harming others, um, I put everything behind the email, which I mean, ultimately it wasn't bad. You could put in a fake email address and still get access to everything. But there's people who are just like, they've been schemed, they've been lied to, they've been had by sending their email address to people, and I understand that, right? So I'm trying to make it easier to truly build that connection and help people. And so I'm going to drop all that. I'm going to include my number for people to reach out to me. Now, don't be. I mean, you can you can reach out to me, but just know that I'm going to respond in the time that I'm able to. I'm still in the military, still have a job to do there. As much I really love doing this part. I love this doing more this than being in the military, believe it or not. Um, but until I'm out, I still have, still have a job to do there. So don't get mad if I have to attend to those things because I promise you, my goal is to get out of work so I can get back to doing this. Um, yeah. So hopefully you enjoyed this. Went 57 minutes. Me rambling. I need some water is really what's going on. Most people's mouths would be dry. They're like, I need something to drink, right? But I'm doing all right. I'm gonna get some water. I'm gonna plug this back in, get some water, and then get going. So thanks for watching. Um, Share this with anyone who is interested in learning more about water. If they're if you have a friend who's drinking a specific bottle of water, share this with share this with them. Pick one of my videos, share it with them so they can get educated. And you never know, if you can't afford it, maybe you know someone who can. And then because you put them on game, then now you're both drinking better water for it. All right. So hopefully this helps. Be on the lookout. I'm going to change a lot of things, and I will see you next video.